Leon here, and I've been talking about some of the challenges that you face as a songwriter. If you haven't watched the first video in this series, I encourage you to go back and take a look at it, since I set the stage for what I'm going to share in this video. Well, let's start with lyric writing, because sometimes that's the hardest part about writing songs for many of us. Usually, you're going to have 2 or 3 verses, a chorus, and a bridge in which to put everything. And it probably, when it's a song, shouldn't last more than 3, possibly 4 minutes, unless you want to write a massively long song. But in this small space, as a lyric writer, you've got to explain everything about your character or characters. You've got to reveal the plot. You have to develop your story. You've got to reach a resolution or a conclusion of some kind. You've got to wrap it all up in there somewhere. And maybe you're writing a story song, maybe it's a character study, maybe you're writing about your personal feelings, all kinds of different things you can do as a lyric writer. But let me back up for a minute and talk about some of the specific things that you can consider when you're writing lyrics. Now, there's a lot of people that will get on your case about your rhyme scheme. Song's got to rhyme. It's got to be a perfect rhyme. Can't be a half rhyme. The tyranny of rhymes. And song lyrics, why do they rhyme? Well, it helps people remember them. And yeah, I know there are exceptions to the rule. There are some very famous songs. I mentioned Annie's Song by John Denver, and there's probably some others. Beautiful songs, they don't rhyme. But most of the time, the lyrics have a rhyme scheme of some type. Now, it's not my goal here to go into the various rhyme schemes. That's a subject for an entirely different video. Let me just name some of the things that you, the lyric writer, have to consider without going into a great deal of detail, great amount of detail. First of all, what's the structure of your lyric? How many verses? Where's the chorus go? Where's the bridge? What's the title? And does the rest of the lyric support the title? What's the hook? What's the repeating phrase, word, or sentence that your listener will walk away singing? Is your lyric conversational? Or does it sound more like poetry? Is it singable? If you've been writing songs for a while, especially if you sing your songs yourself, you have found that certain words are hard to sing. And so the lyric has to sound good as well as say something. Does that lyric actually go somewhere, or are you just repeating things? Is it moving forward in some way? And what's the message that you're trying to get across? Is it relatable? Now, obviously, I'm just scratching the surface here of things to consider when you're writing lyrics. You start thinking about all these things. You start reading books about writing lyrics and thinking about rhyme schemes and structures and everything else. It can be daunting. But don't be alarmed. One of the best things you can do is just get something down, anything down. It's what we might call a dummy lyric, and you go back, you evaluate it, and you see what improvements can be made. And this is where it can really help to have another songwriter helping you. Now, they're not necessarily co-writing with you, but they're helping you spot the problem areas in your song and giving you suggestions as to how to correct them. Well, that's just one of the many challenges that you face as a songwriter. And in the next video, we'll talk a little bit more about the challenges you face when you're writing the music. So once again, thanks for watching. I encourage you to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll talk to you in the next one.